Hello guys, I'm Roosevelt, and in this video I'll be showing you how I designed this social media flyer in Adobe Photoshop. These are the resources that I use in designing the social media flyer, and link to these resources will be in the description below. So without wasting much time, let's get started. We'll start by creating our worksheet. So click on new file, and then let's set the width to 2000, set the height to 2000, then the resolution should be 300. Maybe if the unit over here isn't on pixels, just click and then you can select pixels. Now let's give our worksheet a name. So I'll be going with social media flyer. I'll be going with social media flyer. Then I'll just click on create to create my worksheet. So this is the worksheet that will be designing on. Now let's first add guides. So to add guides, go to view, then guides, and select new guide layout. Over here, make sure that the number of columns is set to 2, the number of rows is also set to 2, and then set the left margin to 15 pixels, and then set the right margin also to 150 pixels each here. The left margin should be 150 pixels, and then the right margin should also be 150 pixels, and then select OK. Click here and let's add a solid color. Let's go with the color code of FF811C, and select OK. Now we have to select our rectangle tool, but as you can see, the rectangle tool isn't showing over here, but rather it's the ellipse tool that's showing. So to get a rectangle tool, just right click here and select rectangle tool. After selecting the rectangle tool, just click this side, left click and hold, and then drag it down like this. Then just select this and push everything in. So you see that it has curved both the top and then the bottom one for us, but then we want to curve just the top side. So what we'll do is let me close the gap just a little bit. I think okay, this is okay, but we want just to curve the top part and not the bottom part. What we'll do is we'll turn off this link over here, then set this side to 0, hit the enter key, set this side also to 0 and hit the enter key. Let's change the color of our rectangle. So double click here to bring out the color picker, and let's give it a color code of FCBA84. Select OK. Now the next thing to do is to import our the next thing to do is to import our pattern and then resize it. So I have my pattern over here. I'll press Ctrl C to copy it, go back to my main worksheet, press Ctrl V to paste it. Now press Ctrl T and let's resize our pattern. So let's resize it to something like this, and then just push it to this side, increase the size a little bit, push it again. So this is okay for us, and let's set the opacity to, let's set the opacity to 10. So 10% will be okay. Yeah, 10% is okay. I think let's resize it again, or let me just push it down. This is okay for us. Let's select our model, press Ctrl C to copy the model, Go back to the main worksheet, press Ctrl V to paste. After pasting our model over here, press Ctrl T and then let's resize our model. So click here and then resize it to something like this. Now hold down the shift key, left click and hold, and then push our model back. I think this is okay. Let me increase the size just a little bit. Yeah, this is okay. This one is okay. So once you are satisfied with the position, just click this side. Now let's move on. But then you have to add some little effect to. We have to enhance our model's image just a little. So with the models layer selected, go to filter and then select camera raw filter. Over here, click on auto for it to give us auto, let's say auto color corrections and everything. Once it's done, let's go to effect and then increase the clarity to something like 29. 29 is okay. Let's go to detail, and over here let's set the sharpening to 65. So the sharpening should be 65. Then the noise reduction should be, let's set it to something like 20, and set the color correction, the color noise reduction to 21. I think it's okay. Now click on OK over here. So we've enhanced our image, our model's image. Let's select everything, all the layers here, and then group them. So press Ctrl G to group them, and let's name them BG, that's background. Now let's add our logo. So I'll press Ctrl C to copy the logo, go back to the main worksheet, and then press Ctrl V to paste. But then the logo is too big, so I would have to resize it. I'll press Ctrl T and then resize the logo. But then before I place the logo over here, I'll have to add another guide. So I'll be placing the logo on the same line. I just have to push the logo up. Let me reduce the size of the logo just a little bit. So this is okay for me. Let me push it to the right side just a little bit. Yeah, this is okay. So now that we've added our logo, we have to add our text. So let me add the text. I'll first copy this text, that's "let your money work for you." Come back to Photoshop, select the type tool, and then I'll left click and hold and drag. So we'll just left click and hold and drag, then press Ctrl V to paste the text that we copied. Now that we are done pasting the text, let's change the text size and other stuff. So we'll be going with Montserrat bold. So just change it to Montserrat bold, and then let's set the size to something like 31. So let me increase this one just a little bit. 31 is okay. And then let's set this side to 29, and let's reduce the spaces between each word. I think this is okay. Okay, so let me just push this up just a little bit and bring this okay. Now hold down the shift key and then left click and hold and place the main text over here. something like this is okay. Now let's add how do you call it? Let's add the second text. So this is the first text that we'll be using. And okay, let me first correct this. Let's increase the size. So select the models layer and then select the rectangles layer. Press Ctrl T and then let's increase the size. So I think this is okay. Let me increase the size of the models image and then pushing to the left side just a little bit. Now I'll raise this line over here, then I'll push the logo to the top. So this is okay. Let me group this and name it logo. So this is okay. Now let's push the let your money work text up a little bit. Press Ctrl T, resize it. So this is okay. Let's reduce the spaces between each sentence and then let me go with something like 29 and hit the enter key. Yeah, so this is okay. Now the next thing to do is to add the second text. So with the second text, I'll just highlight it and then press Ctrl C to copy. Come back to Photoshop and I can duplicate this text by pressing Ctrl J, select the bottom one, push it down, then highlight everything in it and then press Ctrl V to paste the second text. But then we don't want the second text to have the same thickness as the first text over here. So what we'll do is we'll be changing this size from monstrous bold to monstrous medium. Yes, so this is okay, monstrous medium, and then let's change the size to let's go with something like 28. 28 is okay, and then let's change this to 26. So 26, just to reduce the space between like there's space over here. And the next thing to do is also, and I think okay, so that is okay. Now the next thing to do is to push the second text up a little bit. Let's push it up a little bit with the help of the top arrow key. So I think this is okay. Now select these two layers, press Ctrl G and name them info, so that we know that this side contains, like this group contains our info, this group contains our background, and then this group contains the logo. So let's go back to the reference image. So we've added the solid color, the rectangle shape, our model. We've also added the logo. We've also added these two texts over here. Now the only thing left is the social media handle and then the coin images over here. So let's go back to our main worksheet. What we have to do is we have to select the social media logos over here. So if you're going with Facebook, then I'll right click and select convert to smart object, so that whenever I increase its size or reduce the size, I won't lose the quality. Then we also be going with Instagram. I'll also right click and convert to smart object. The last social media handle that I'll be using is X. I'll also right click again and convert to smart object. Now let's select this Instagram, this X, and then this is Facebook. I'll press Ctrl C to copy, go back to my main worksheet, press Ctrl V to paste them. Now let's align them and then resize it well. So right here, I'll press Ctrl T and then I'll resize them. I think this okay. Let me resize it just a little bit. So this is okay for me. This is okay. Let me push it up. Something like this, okay. So I'll group them and name them icons. So this side contains icons. The first icon will be the Facebook one. The next one will be the Instagram one. So I'll just select the Instagram, push it here. Let me push it to the left side just a little bit. And then the last one will be the X logo. Okay, something like this. Okay, now let's align it to the logo. So this is okay. Yeah, so this is okay for us. Now let's change its color from black to white. So with the icons group selected, go to effects, color overlay, and change the color to white. After changing the color to white, let's add our social media handle. So I'll select the type 2, click here, and then you can add your social media handle. So let me resize this. I'll press Ctrl T, and then I'll resize it. Let's change the size to something like 14. Let's go with 15. I'll be going with 15, and then I'll push it down a little bit and also align it to the center of the logo. I don't think it's okay. Now it's in the middle. I'll select these two layers, the social media handles text layer and then the icons group, and press Ctrl G to group them and name them SM, that's for social media. After doing that, now the last thing to do is to add our icon image, the coin image. So I'll click here, press Ctrl C to copy the coin image, go back to my main worksheet and press Ctrl Shift V to paste it in place. So let me push it down. It should be just on top of our model's image. So I think yeah, this is okay. So guys, this is how to design this particular social media poster in Adobe Photoshop. If you like this video and then you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. Also like, comment and share with others.